The thing about water is that it has no power on its own. All the world's currents were set up by God, and He wills it to go wherever He wants it to go. Think about the Grand Canyon. Little streams of water formed together by God made a river that carved out this great canyon. And just like God formed streams together to make rivers, He can take people and form them together to make a church, to do even greater things than just have something nice to look at as you're driving through Colorado. I'm pretty sure that's where the Grand Canyon is. Now, God works at getting the right people to the right place at His time to fulfill His will. Just like those streams that worked all those years to form a canyon, we too have to stay steady and diligently continue on toward fulfilling the plan God has for us. It's not going to be easy. We all have challenges and obstacles that every Christian has to face. Now, as I was floating in the creek, I was starting to really enjoy myself. And something caught hold of me. It was like an arm reached in and grabbed my shoulder. And I stopped dry. The current just stopped, and a branch had caught hold of me and was holding me. And God's will is a lot like that. Even though you're trying to be in God's will, they're going to have things and people that will try to hold you back from doing what you were meant to be doing.
That's right.
You have to stay focused and keep your eyes on what you should be doing. And try not to get distracted by all the things the world has to offer. Now, this brings me to my next scripture reference in James 4, verse 13. When you have it, say amen. Go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow we will go into such a city, and continue there a year, and buy and sell, and get gain. Whereas you know not what ye shall be on the morrow, but what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little while, and then vanish away. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live, and do this or that. We as humans like to make plans. Well, some of us humans like to make plans. But when we do, we have to make sure that our plans line up with God's plans. Like, let's give man and God a garden and see what they do with it. The man gets home from work. He looks at his garden. Well, he got some weeds. I'm so tired from work. I think I'll just take a nap before I go to bed. During the night, rain came. Rained all day the next day. He's looking at that. It rained all the rest of the week. He had a whole big old mess to pick up after it finished raining for those couple of days. Now God, what He did that day while the farmer was sleeping, He walked up to his garden. He says, weeds, I command thee to wither and die. So all the weeds died. And then God thought about it. He says, well, you know what? My whole garden really needs some water. So let it make it rain for a couple of days. So God caused the clouds to rain down for the past couple of days. And his garden was plenteous and full because the weeds weren't messing up his crop. Now, let's change it. Let's have man and God, instead of being separate, let's put them together. And instead of saying, I'm really tired from work, let me go have a talk with God. Lord, should I weed or, what's the weather report going to be like? So the guy says, well, I done finished weeding mine. I'll help you weed yours. And then I'll make it rain and we'll both have a good crop this year. All right, God, that sounds good. Because getting information from the guy that controls the weather is a good idea.
Amen. Amen.
Now, we all as humans make plans and, well, this is my schedule. Is it going to stay like that? Probably not. Me, I planned on going to medical school. My plan was, all right, I'm going to go to medical school, be a physical therapy tech, work my way up, be a physical therapist or chiropractor. And that'll work. People say the medical field's good and I have plenty of work. And so I went, asked God, Lord, I'm going to go to medical school and I'm going to need your help. So I go to medical school. And when I was a teenager, I had learning issues. I had attention deficits and all that stuff. So we explained to the lady that's administering the entrance exam. Well, if he's got all that, not too good at math and all that stuff, we'll go ahead and let him have a practice test of one of the hardest questions that we have. And most people get this wrong. She asks me the question. I think about it for a little while. Answer is 16. That's right. I went on to complete the test and go on to be to my physical therapy tech school. And then after doing the medical part of it, I had to go to computer class. And I really enjoyed the computer class because I'm into computers and I was able to learn a lot more about computers and stuff. And they had a typing test because you have to type at least 25 words in order to pass the class. So my first test, 5 words a minute. 5 words a minute. I got to type 25. So when it came time to finally do the actual test, after practicing and stuff, I do my first practice test, 10 words. So I'm like, Lord, I'm going to need your help. And then there was a peace and a coolness that entered the room. And the computer class, before I went, they talked about how hot it gets. But I was cool. And I found that odd. But at the same time, it was just God's way of letting me know He was there with me.
Amen.
So I put both hands at the computer, 25 words per minute. God gave me 20 more words a minute to help me pass my test.
Amen.
And then I went on to do clinicals and then search out work. Calling up people. No, we're not using text. No, we good. No, we're not really using those anymore. After maybe 8 or 9 calls like that, I was like, Lord, you told me, you helped me out through medical school. What's the deal? Well, I never told you to go. I just said I just agreed to help you. Like, if you would have asked me, I would have told you to invest in art stuff. And well, Lord, what you want me to do what do you want me to do next? And I had a dream, and this guy was pointing at a calendar. And the day he pointed at was my first day working with Kelly, who I went to Florida with. So that was such a blessing, and I learned so much over there. And it's crazy how God does stuff. He has a sense of humor. If anyone thinks God's boring, it's crazy.